Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today's subject is Tapasya, Part 6, from Sri Aurobindo. The turn to Vairagya, to Tapasya of an ascetic kind, was the impulse of something in your own nature. It insisted on its necessity just as the part of the vital insisted on its opposite. Even it condemned my suggestion of something less grim and strenuous as an easy-going absence of aspiration, etc. I do not say that Vairagya and Tapasya are not ways to reach the divine, but done like that, they are painful ways and long. If one takes them, one must be determined and go through. For one part to push all zest out of the vital, and for the other to regret and say, "Why did I ever do it?" will never do. And it is in this kind of tapasya that perfection, or at least perfect purification, is demanded before there can be any realization. I have never said that for my yoga, the only thing I insist upon is some faith, inner surrender, an opening of oneself to receive. Not absolute, but just sufficient. Experience has to begin long before perfect purification, and from experience to experience one comes to realization, and through realization to more and more perfection. Anything that can be called real perfection can only come at the end. But there is something in you that is impatient of gradualness, of small mercies. Its motto seems to be all or nothing. The vision you saw of the man and the fire at his feet was probably a vision of the god Agni, from whom flows the fire of tapasya and purification in the sadhana. Pondicherry is my place of retreat, my cave of tapasya, not of the ascetic kind, but of a brand of my own invention. I must finish that. I must be internally armed and equipped for my work before I leave it. To one who is not taking enough food or sleep and rest in the eagerness of his spirit, I might say, eat more, sleep more, rest more. Do not overstrain yourself or bring an ascetic spirit into your tapasya. To another with the opposite excess, I might speak a contrary language. Each sadhak has a nature or turn of nature of his own, and the movement of the yoga of two sadhaks, even when there are some resemblances between them, is seldom exactly the same. But in truth, the greatest force for success is a right concentration of energy, tapasya, and there is an inevitable moral element in tapasya. When the mind or the vital or the physical consciousness is on the top, then the sadhana is a tapasya and a struggle. The soul is the witness, upholder, experiencer, but it is master only in theory. In fact, it is not master, Nilisha, so long as it consents to the ignorance. For that is the general consent which implies that the Prakriti gambols about with the Purusha and does pretty well what she likes with him. When he wants to get back his mastery, make the theoretical practical, he needs a lot of tapasya to do it. From the mother. The body's tapasya is something quite interesting, really interesting. The body, you know, its modesty is total. It has a keen sense of all its limitations, all its incapacities, all its ignorance, all. And at the same time, the absolute sense of the divine presence, absolute, and a divine presence that can break everything to pieces if it wants to. It's quite interesting. A presence with such power, a power which is incalculable, with no possible comparison with earthly things.